Hey people, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I want to cover the Newbie pitfalls and amazing cultivation simulator. Without further ado, let's just get into it. First one is, there's a certain trait that you want to look out for, which is broken meridians. Basically this means your character cannot enlighten. They've basically been damaged beyond belief that they can never come into moral. So make sure that none of your starter characters, when you're randomizing, have this trait. Just not worth it. Like, you don't really want a character that you can never build upon, and it's going to affect your progress in the start. Another thing to watch out for is low tribulation timers. Generally, we want between 100 and 300 days of tribulation time, so something like this would be more ideal. A lot of people are saying like don't pick Yagwai up at all, but you know, Yagwai are very great. They're great for, like, they're just better humans in a lot of cases, so it won't be that much of a death sentence having it at day 206, because by that point you'll likely be able to prepare for this. Another newbie trap that I think is quite common is not getting your day one down. What you need is to build your bonfire, which will open up the craft menu for building a well. You want to build both a bonfire and a well almost immediately upon day one. Also, you want to have one of your characters break through into Inner Disciple almost on minute 1. Getting your first Inner Disciple is priority. Getting your first gold core is also priority, so that you can establish your sect and also start getting things rolling. You also want to make sure that your disciples are on a work schedule. Make sure that your inners are not on a work schedule. And yeah, another big newbie trap is definitely attacking the demon. This guy is made to be quite strong. You want to wait until you can form contracts, because at that point you can actually tame your demon into a mount for one of your inner disciples to ride. It will also obviously probably kill you and the mysterious cultivator with you, so just watch out for that. In terms of the Fae or Lushu, this is something you also can do. You can use their weather to your advantage. You can use that for getting your first golden core, etc. However, you know, it's going to make the other side worse in a lot of ways, and also the drops that you can get from this guy are quite rare, and they're significantly weaker than the demons generally. Using the Earth Mother Shrine or the Beast Conversion Heavenly Dao, you can actually spawn a lot of demon beasts, which can allow you a farm of contracts. So you really don't want to begin gaining too much reputation in your run. Reputation is sort of like XP, I guess. You get it from doing a variety of actions within the game, such as fighting, burying people. Tons of different stuff will get you reputation. A lot of people who start off the game will sort of try and rush this, as it increases your sect size, stuff like that. But the infinite, like the invaders that you have generally randomly will increase in scale in terms of like effectiveness. If you do this, like, they'll get a lot stronger a lot quicker. Though it is true that this game, like, there's a lot of bottleneck down the line. I'm saying, like, you should start out slow and slowly pick up the pace. It's not like a speed run, you know. You don't want to sprint. It's sort of a jog, if you know what I mean, with a sprint towards the end. It's you don't want to like end up making the enemies too hard or stuff like that, just so that you can get some more sect disciples, because honestly they all have to eat. So I'd say like the best time to try and get yourself some reputation is once you have disciple of all the elements and golden core phase at least. Fifth and final newbie trap is definitely the different Feng Shui things that can happen in your rooms. One thing that can happen is the key density of something that you're going to eat ends up being too high. So as you can see here, I've got a lingering key of 303. Say that got up to like 2,000 or something ridiculous, and then I ate it would cause me to explode from the inside with key. That's something to watch out for. Next one is like door placement. If you're building a sect, the doors that you have leading inside do not matter. The doors that lead outside, however, have to be in a specific area. So if you have like a crafting station, they all have to lead outside to the right, to the east. Anything that has to do with crafting, like if I built a door here, I would get very bad ominous energy. If it's a bedroom, it has to have a south door. If it's a kitchen, it has to have a western door. So these all sort of add up together. If you have bad feng shui, so this is a very ominous room. If someone sleeps in it, it will cause them to have a heart attack during their sleep. However, if you're like a body cultivist, for instance, you might want to have a very ominous room for your breathing essences. So you don't have to worry about them taking a nap here unless you put a bed in here, which you really shouldn't be putting a bed in here. But you might be asking yourself, why is this very ominous and why can I see that? Well, you're going to want to build yourself an observatory. This doesn't really have a crafting function, so it doesn't really need to gather ki. But this will allow you to get like a kind of feng shui vision and lets you sense the elements of a room, sort of. It lets you see elements in a room. And if we look down here, these are all wood, right? And these are marble. So if we look at this, wood subtracts from marble, and that's why these tombs here are very ominous. They have very ominous energy coming from them, and that's why this room is very ominous. So make sure to build yourself an observatory pretty early. The quality of it really doesn't matter, to be honest. It's not an item that you use for crafting. You could put in like just a small room off with like nothing in it except that. So there's nothing like stopping you from doing that, but yeah, just keep wary of how feng shui works. There's this diagram if you ever need to look at it, if you're sort of curious about whether or not this room will give you bad feng shui. But yeah, another note is obviously like your inner cultivator rooms. They really don't get used much. So you don't really need to sort of decorate them because they'll usually be wherever their cushion is 100% of the time. So don't worry about like making your inner cultivator's rooms super flashy unless it's for guests. Anyway, that's my top 5 newbie traps. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if there's something that you feel is a newbie trap within Amazing Cultivation Simulators. There's a lot of honorable mentions that I could probably make, so I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Catch you next time.